Sustainable Development Goal 15 by Maiken, Julianne, and Annabella. Each of us worked with our own community partners towards the same goal. We have Annabella's project with the Peace Path, we have Julianne's project with the Cape Coral Animal Shelter, and we have my project with River Oaks Preserve. Although our projects are unique, each one addresses a different crucial piece of protecting life on land. Whether we are restoring insect habitats, supporting local animal welfare, or educating the community through technology, we are tackling Southwest Florida's environmental pressures from all sides. I partnered with the Cocoloba chapter of the Florida Native Plant Society to help stop the loss of biodiversity. Invasive plant species have no natural limitations, leading to the takeover of our native plants, higher usage of pesticides for control, and damage to our soil's makeup. These plants, like the rosary pea and Brazilian pepper, are not only crowding our native plants and causing them to die, but are also harmful to us and native wildlife. With the development already taking over many of our native species' homes and people introducing these beautiful invasive species to our ecosystem, I believe it's time we make a change. Increasing native plant species and weeding out invasive plant species helps support our ecosystem's biodiversity. What better way to increase the native plant population than to use our local pollinators? I have built 2 butterfly houses to provide butterflies shelter from storms and other predators. I have also propagated some of the native plants like passion vine and wild lime to attract butterflies and provide a liked environment for each stage of their life cycle. To allow room for these newly propagated plants, I have cleared out 2 stage 1 invasive species known as the guinea grass and Caesar weed that hinder the gopher tortoise's movement and create a canopy over native plants, keeping them from thriving. I plan to keep contributing to this butterfly garden in hopes that when customers see it, they will feel more motivated to use native plant species to create their own butterfly gardens instead of invasive exotic flowers.
Hi, this is Julianne Calpin, and my role in this service learning project was researching demographics to help Cape Coral Animal Shelter identify where to focus future fundraising and outreach efforts. Cape Coral Animal Shelter is a nonprofit, no-kill shelter that's planning to expand its facility so it can care for more animals. Since the shelter relies heavily on donations, understanding the surrounding communities is important for supporting that expansion. This graph shows population growth across Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties from 2022 to 2024. All 3 counties are growing, with Lee County growing the fastest. As more people move into Southwest Florida, shelters face increased demand for services, making community support even more important. This connects to Sustainable Development Goal 15 by helping improve animal welfare and reduce unnecessary euthanasia. To determine where fundraising efforts may be most effective, I compared homeownership, age, and household income across 3 counties. Charlotte County has the highest percentage of homeowners and residents over age 55, making it a strong area for recurring donations and planned giving. Lee County has the highest homeowner income and the fastest population growth, making it a good location for major donors and digital outreach. And then Collier County falls between the 2 and offers opportunities to reach both established and newer residents. Looking at these factors together allowed me to develop recommendations based on the needs and characteristics of each community. This chart combines shelter intake and outcome data from Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties using the University of Florida's Maddie's Fund database. Although many animals have positive outcomes, intake numbers remain very high, showing that shelters across the region continue to face capacity challenges. Expanding Cape Coral Animal Shelter would help provide additional space for animals and reduce pressure on other local shelters. My research helps identify the donor populations most likely to support that expansion and strengthen the shelter's long-term fundraising strategies. Based on the data, I recommend focusing digital outreach and major donor events in Lee County, estate planning seminars and senior community outreach in Charlotte County, and welcome to Southwest Florida Pet Resource Kits in Collier County to connect with new residents. I had also initially planned to include GIS mapping, but lost access to ArcGIS before completing the project. I've already committed to continuing this work with Cape Coral Animal Shelter after this class, so I plan to complete that mapping next semester to build on these findings. Overall, this project showed me how demographic research can support real community organizations by helping them make informed decisions. I hope these recommendations help Cape Coral Animal Shelter expand its facility, reach more donors, and ultimately care for more animals throughout Southwest Florida.
Hi, my name is Annabella Tanberg, and for my community engagement project, I partnered with the Unity of Bonita Springs Church to help transform their existing Peace Path into a more educational and interactive experience for the community. Throughout my video, you'll see my process with research, design, implementation, installation, and the final product. My project focused on identifying native and local plant life throughout the property and then researching, designing, and 3D printing the permanent educational signage that visitors could use to learn about the plants around them. This process involved everything from identifying and researching each species to designing the signs, testing the different materials, building the posts, and finally installing each sign throughout the community garden. Through this project, I combined hands-on community service with environmental education to create a resource that will remain at the Unity of Bonita Springs Church for visitors to come learn even long after this project is gone. Native plants are a huge part of what makes Southwest Florida's ecosystems unique, and being able to identify them helps us understand their role in supporting wildlife, pollinators, healthy soils, and biodiversity. By adding plant identification signs and creating resources that explain what these species are and why they matter, the project connects directly to SDG 15, which is Life on Land, especially Target 15.5, which focuses on reducing biodiversity loss and protecting threatened ecosystems. It also connects to SDG 4, which is Quality Education, as environmental protection starts with giving people the knowledge to understand and care about the world around them. Across all of our projects, that same idea comes through. When we make environmental information easier to understand and more accessible to the community, we help build awareness and encourage better choices to create a stronger connection between the people and the natural environment around them. So as you've seen in the video, we started out with identifying plants in the Peace Path, then creating our initial design, uploading it to the printer, including Braille for accessibility, and then we did our initial print. After our initial print, we laid out all of the signs and decided where they would go in the Peace Path. Here you can see me doing the initial installation of the signage in the Peace Path. After weeks of research, designing, printing, and testing, we were finally ready for the installation. Installing the first sign was especially rewarding because it was to the point where all of our work had finally come together, and it was so beautiful, we just knew it had paid off. And this here was our finished project. As I walked through the garden and the Peace Path, it shows all the signs throughout. The signs each explain all of the plants surrounding them. Now visitors are able to walk through the Peace Path while identifying and learning about the plants. The most important part of this to me was that these signs are able to stay here, and the project doesn't just end when my service ends. It will continue for the community for years to come. Overall, this project taught me that community engagement can be something that lasts beyond the time you personally spend volunteering, and I'm really proud of what we were able to create with the Unity of Bonita Springs Church.